Yes, it's Eric Previn, a county resident from District 3, and I will nibble, sir. I do not understand what you mean by the ACLU needs to disclose how much money that they have spent in overseeing the jails and that somehow it's their fault that they didn't bring to your attention that these problems were going forward. I would just like to say that, in fact, they did bring it to your attention in the form of several lawsuits, this federal consent decree. There's a lot of stuff that's come out because of their work, in fact, and I don't want to get into it right now, but I found that a little bit insulting since for so long there have been so many civil rights violations in this space. And I would also nibble on Terry McDonald's comment that apparently Rikers and Cook County together, during the same period when we had about 700 uses of force, they had 6,200. I would like to see that evidence, because that is obviously yet another example of let's define our terms a certain way. This chart, which changed from 2011 to 2012, is very convenient. It is not clear at all to an ordinary reader, and I'm not just an ordinary reader because I've looked at it for a long time. It's confusing. And I would ask you, sir, regarding the 13 additional items for the IAB and ICB or whatever, what does the backlog currently look like for the, that's a reasonable question. I think, is it been reduced substantially? I would certainly hope so. I can't understand that. And it's worth noting, sir, that the tier stabilization piece that Mr. Lucas talked about, I mean, just let's talk about for a second how we staff up the jail and tie it into the scanners, because I'm running out of time. The scanners, which I've witnessed myself, are extremely expensive, and you go through sideways like this. It's a little comical. It takes time and staff. And at the end of the day, let's remember Northern New York. There was a bad person who worked at the jail who was bringing stuff in. We should get dogs if we're concerned about drugs and ordnance and stuff, or weapons. We should get dogs. They're cheaper, they work, and there's no doubt. The employees might not appreciate it if they're bringing stuff in, but if they are not bringing stuff in, they have nothing to worry about, sir. We all love dogs, including you, sir. So hopefully some of these materials that have been reported can be reported more clearly, frankly, because I find, in light of the August finding with the federal government, this whole process is...
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Sachs.